Transitioning from a course business model to a hybrid community business model isn't all that difficult. One of the things that just makes so much sense to me about the hybrid community business model and looking at it through the lens of connection and authenticity and engagement and curation, suddenly this becomes almost easier and more natural than having to prop up a business on creating information and having to sell information and get people to want to buy information, particularly in this day and age. If you're thinking, well, how do I transition to this hybrid community business model? Super easy way to get started is to start with some form of live engagement, live event type experience with your members. I think the way that I've done it for the last 5 years is probably the lowest barrier to entry. And I think it's been a great success. And that's just to have a live group call once a week. You could call it an office hours, you could call it a Q&A. If you still want to launch your course, an easy way to do that and to engage in this live event concept is to say, I'm going to teach one day of the week and I'm going to do Q&A another day of the week. Instead of releasing all of your information, I would teach my course live. I would teach it in a workshop, a live workshop setting, and I would take those videos and turn those videos into the course. You could also potentially, if you've already done a lot of recording on your course content, you could do like a hybrid approach. And another nice thing about this model is that if you were planning on doing like a launch model where you open your doors and then close them, that type of thing, I'm not personally a big fan of that model, but I feel like migrating from that model to a hybrid course model that utilizes more of this cohort accelerator type learning, live workshop learning model could actually work really well for you not to lose any of the work you've done preparing for your launch. Just transition it more to live type events. And then with all of that content, now you have a resource library. Now you can curate that content. Now you can build engagement and start to build your community with content already there for you to use. So hopefully that helps you think, if you were in the middle of that transition, how you could make the change.